Hello and welcome to episode 39 of 5 Minutes with Alex for the week of May 8th, 2023. In market news, we've had a lot of market movers this week and finally some good news. Let's start off with Wednesday's CPI report. We've been looking forward to this report for a few months because lagging housing costs will start to have a chance to show up in these inflation reports. However, on Friday of last week, the Bureau of Labor Statistics revised April of 2022's inflation number lower. So this means that this year's CPI report had less room to make some headway on inflation numbers. Now, despite this, inflation declined from 5% to 4.9%, and that was with some inflationary pressure from gasoline, which hit a momentary spike in April. This was then followed up by Thursday's Producer Price Index report. Year-over-year PPI inflation decreased from 2.7 to 2.3%, beating expectations. So between these two reports, rates have rebounded a little bit. And if rents can continue their deceleration, then that's setting up really well for rates over the summer. But a word of caution, here's the takeaway for your buyers. The MBA released their data and purchase applications are up 5%, meaning more demand is on the way. And in an already low inventory environment, that does not bode well for them. Rates might lower in the summer, but what do you think is going to do, with competition for your buyers? That's right. It's looking like it's about to get a lot tighter. So when they do find the right home, they better move on it sooner rather than later. In the mortgage corner, I haven't covered the loan level price adjustment or LLPAs that went into effect officially on May 1st, but I would encourage you to go back to my initial reaction where I covered this in episode 35 of this podcast. I want to be fair here and just state a few things to keep in mind, even though I'm not in favor of the changes, and I have plenty of criticism. There are a few things that came out in news reports that were not accurate. So one, the most important thing is that this only affects conventional loan buyers. So I had some people who were going to be doing FHA or VA financing and they thought this was going to affect them. It doesn't. This is only conventional loan buyers. And two, we can criticize these changes as much as we want. There isn't a situation, though, in which a borrower with a lower credit score will get a better deal than someone with a higher credit score. They have changed the structure a little bit. And yes, we can argue that these changes for borrowers with, say, a 720 to 759 credit score are paying more than what they were before. There are also instances in which they are paying less depending upon their down payment. So it's a change. And we can criticize it, but there was a lot of bias that was coming out with those news reports and, frankly, a lot of misinformation. So I just want to be fair about my coverage of that LLPA change. That being said, there was an announcement on Wednesday that some LLPA adjustments that were going to go into effect in August are being rescinded, which is great news. So basically, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac would not only look at your down payment and your credit score to determine your rate and how your mortgage gets priced, but they'd also penalize you if your debt to income ratio was above a certain threshold. And for a lot of reasons, this is a terrible idea. The income someone starts off with on an application can change for a lot of legitimate reasons. So to have huge changes in the interest rate or the points that someone's paying late in the mortgage process would create a lot of confusion and anger. The mortgage, realtor, and housing industry loudly protested against those changes, and we at least got that portion rescinded. However, this does not impact the credit score down payment LLPAs that went into effect May 1st. Those are still in effect. So if you see something saying that the LLPA changes were rescinded, this does not impact the ones that went into effect in May. This is a somewhat complicated topic, and I think it's honestly better served with a meeting. So feel free to reach out if you ever have any questions. I'd love to meet up with you or have a phone call. And finally, our quote of the week. If you wait for the perfect moment when all is safe and assured, it may never arrive. Mountains will not be climbed, races won, or lasting happiness achieved. Have a great week, and if I can help you or any of your clients with any questions or pre-approvals, let me know. They can visit me at homeloanswithalex.com. Have a great week.